Hi, and welcome once again to, what's that smell in here? To Ivy English. I'm Karen.
And I'm Chris Gorski. That scent could be me, but it more likely is our title today.
Are Skunks Misunderstood?
I think they are. I'm just going to say I'm planting my flag early. Yes, they are. We're talking about skunks today. And of course, if you know what a skunk is, its name is really clear in Chinese. It's a smelly animal.
Yeah.
It will spray you, and man, that is bad times. But I'm here to defend them today. I'm going to bat for the skunks. I think they're quite adorable, and I've never had a bad experience with skunks. I've seen them. I've been around them. And apparently, some people can even take care of them as pets, and they're so adorable. I think they're approaching little bunny rabbit levels of cute.
They are very pretty. They have very long hair, and you've got that black and white, and they kind of waddle when they walk.
They do. Their walk is adorable.
I have to share a meme that's going around the internet. You may have seen it. This one's actually from a few years ago, but I recycled it. So this family, in their house, they see a skunk running around the yard like it doesn't know what to do. It's running here, stopping, running there. And then they find out that it's got a plastic cup stuck over its face.
Right.
Have you seen that one?
I've heard of this. Yeah, I'm trying to recall it, but this is striking me. It was like stuck on its head.
Yes.
What do you do, right? You don't want to get it mad.
Right. So this poor skunk has got its head stuck in a plastic cup. And that's one reason why all of this disposable stuff that we make is so dangerous. Like for turtles, they get the 6-pack loops or circles, whatever. They get stuck and they can't grow normally. So anyway, it was running around, bumping into things. It didn't know what to do. And there was a highway right nearby, and it could probably walk there and get run over. So there is a guy. He looks like he's maybe, say, 18 years old. And his mother is kind of coaching him from the sidelines saying, oh, you got to help him. He's got that cup on him. But the guy doesn't want to get sprayed. And it seems the one thing he's worried most about is his clothes. He said, well, should I take off my clothes? But they're filming it. She says, no, don't take off your clothes. But he couldn't stand it. He says, I don't want to get my shirt sprayed. So he pulls off his shirt and he goes bare-chested, but he leaves his pants on. And then he's being really brave, and he knows that he has to grab it and run away fast because he might get sprayed. And so this thing is so full of suspense. It lasts about two minutes and maybe 12 seconds. And he's just chasing this skunk. He grabs it, and it's stuck on so hard. He couldn't pull it off. And so he had to run away again and then try again. So you go through several iterations. And finally, he gets close. He closes in on it, grabs really hard, pulls it, and runs.
Oh.
And the skunk is free.
That's good. And was the skunk more surprised, or?
You can see the skunk was so relieved, and the skunk did not try to spray anyone. The skunk was just so disheartened, and it was in such a bad situation. It probably didn't really understand what was going on, but you could see that it was really relieved.
Now, if I were there, I would have thrown my Boy Scout training into full activation mode.
Really?
Yeah, we learned how to. There was like this naturalist guy, and he walked around in a coonskin cap.
Oh, goodness. Going all the way.
And that tells you everything you need to know.
Davy Crockett.
Yes. And he taught us how to deal with a skunk. He says, if you have a skunk and we're in a cold place, there's a good chance you have a jacket. That skunks need to lift their tails in order to spray you.
Yeah.
So if you're in a tight spot with a skunk and it seems it's irritated for whatever reason, you throw your jacket on it. It'll depress its tail. The skunk doesn't naturally kind of react to it. Holding down its tail, it can't have the muscle tension where it needs in order to spray you. And so
I'm thinking of the word sphincter right now.
Yes.
Sphincter.
And so you're able to kind of scurry away yourself before you get sprayed, because if it's between you and your jacket. But then again, if it's really cold, there's a good chance those skunks are off hiding anyways. But you might come across them in spring when you have a light jacket. And
it's good to know that just in case. Let's spell the word sphincter, because I bet you probably haven't learned that so far in your textbooks. Sphincter is an opening in the body, and it's usually something that we use to get rid of waste.
Butthole.
It could be a butthole, could also be for urine. There's a sphincter. It's something that you can open and close voluntarily with muscles. So sphincter muscles, those are the muscles that hold it in or that relax and then let you pee or whatever it is that you do with that particular sphincter.
You have one in your stomach.
Yeah, sphincters. It's just you've got muscles that can control it. You can make it open and close. And it is spelled S-P-H-I-N-C-T-E-R. S-P-H-I-N-C-T-E-R. And it sounds kind of obscene because we start thinking about excretion. We think about peeing and pooping and things. But it's a really good word to know. Sphincter. You can impress somebody with that word. Okay, let's get to our article. Our title again is Are Skunks Misunderstood? Chris says he has already planted his flag in the ground. That means he has already taken sides. He is going to say, I'm on the side of people who think that skunks are misunderstood, and they're much nicer than many people think they are.
And I also said I'm going to bat for them. That means I will support them.
That's right. If you're going to bat for somebody, they're a pinch hitter. That means it's your turn to be the batter, but you're not as good a hitter as someone else, so you get somebody to bat for you, and then Chris says, I'll go to bat for you because he's a really good hitter. All right, here's our article. Although skunks may look cute, they have a bad reputation for one reason in particular. Skunks release a strong-smelling, toxic liquid from glands near the base of their tail. Any human or animal that has been sprayed by a skunk knows exactly how unpleasant this experience can be. The liquid can lead to temporary blindness if directed at the eyes, and the smell can remain for days, even after many rounds of washing and cleaning. However, skunks may be misunderstood because in reality, they only use their unpleasant-smelling spray as a last resort.
When skunks release their liquid, the substance not only harms the animal considered a threat, but also leaves the skunks themselves feeling exhausted. Consequently, skunks need a period of recovery to regain their strength. During this period, skunks are more defenseless. For this reason, skunks have two other means to ward off predators before their liquid is sprayed. First, the white stripes on their back actually point to the area from which the liquid is released. These stripes offer a warning of, don't come too close, or you know what will happen. However, even if predators ignore the stripes, a skunk performs a dance before spraying, which serves as its second and final warning sign. This dance involves stamping, tail slapping, and sometimes even a handstand.
The smelly, toxic liquid is a kind of defense mechanism for skunks to keep threats away and stay safe. However, these furry little creatures don't necessarily enjoy spraying others. Like humans, all they want is a little peace and a life free from danger. And that sounds so reasonable at the end.
It does, doesn't it?
This actually brings to mind a camp song that we learned. I don't know if you learned it when you were young and went to camp.
I don't know. Let me hear it.
Let me just sing a little bit of it. I sing it so much that my kids actually got tired of it after a while, and we can all sing it. But the beginning of it is like this. Oh, I stuck my head in an old skunk hole, and the little skunk said, oh, bless my soul, take it out, take it out, take it out, take it out. Remove it. Well, I didn't take it out, and the little skunk said, oh, when you did, you'll have wished you had. Take it out, take it out, take it out, take it out. Remove it. And I think you repeat the verse again. And then finally, it goes, remove it. Psst. I removed it. Too late.
No, I don't know this song, but
it's a great song.
What is it based on? Like the initial part, was it not Camptown Games? It sounds like it's based on another. Right. What song is that?
It's a Stephen Foster song.
I can't remember.
Yeah. So anyway, you can learn that song. It's a really fun one. And if you've got kids, you can teach it to them. And it's so fun at the end when you spray and then you get to say, too late. It has a very sad ending, I guess. All right, so let's go back to the beginning, go over it sentence by sentence. Although skunks may look cute, they have a bad reputation for one reason in particular, and I think everybody knows that reason. It's the one we've been talking about, okay? Their smell and getting sprayed. Skunks release a strong-smelling, toxic liquid from glands near the base of their tail. Now, the things to watch out for here is, first of all, release is to let go, and here it means to spray. Strong smelling is a compound adjective. And remember to put a little hyphen between it. Strong smelling, something that has a strong smell. We made it into one compound adjective, one word. Toxic means poisonous. It means it's very dangerous. Liquid is something like water that flows. And glands, that they are an organ that contains some kind of substance, usually some kind of a liquid, or it can be a little thicker than a liquid, that you can squeeze out for different purposes. Those are glands. And then near the base of means the bottom of their tail. So there are a lot of really great words. Most of them are not that hard, but you may not have encountered them in your textbooks, and they are pretty common and very useful. So just from the point of view of learning new vocabulary, this is a great sentence.
So it comes from the base of their tail. It's actually coming from the anal glands, and they're like two little pea-sized little bags, and when they spray this liquid, it can go 3 meters. So
oh my gosh.
When that teenager you were describing, when he ran, he had better been a fast person because 3 meters! Like,
That's
you better
right.
be able to clear 3 meters in a second or two.
Though fortunately, the skunk was in no mood to spray anybody. He just
what a
wanted
kind
to be
of skunk.
free. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, poor guy. All right, so a lot of really good words to learn, a lot of things you'll need in biology class. Any human or animal that has been sprayed by a skunk knows exactly how unpleasant this experience can be. My personal experience is mainly from like that little song I just sang and from reading about it and hearing about it and having them pictured in cartoons, that they're just known for being smelly and dangerous, and stay away from them. That smell is really bad, really hard to wash out. However, I have not personally been sprayed by a skunk, so I probably don't feel that strongly about it.
Yeah, most humans have not been sprayed by skunks. It's more likely that you're walking your dog in the forest and your dog sees a skunk and gets excited, and then your dog doesn't know to back off, and then your dog gets sprayed, and you have to deal with your smelly dog all the way home.
And not just all the way home, probably for the next few weeks.
Yeah, because the better methods of cleaning skunk scent is more problematic for a dog than it is for a human.
And you don't want to hurt your dog. Okay, so it's extremely unpleasant. But on the other hand, there are some things that we should know about it that make it a little less threatening and scary. The liquid can lead to temporary blindness if directed at the eyes, and the smell can remain for days, even after many rounds of washing and cleaning. So far, we're telling you the things that are indeed dangerous. You should actually have a healthy fear of skunks, because if that liquid ends up in your eyes, you will at least be temporarily blinded. And it's really, really hard to get that smell out.
While we're talking about this word smell, we should also think about the word odor. I often deal with this word in my own classroom when kids are learning about like the simple present tense, and we're talking about like orders, for example, like sit up or stand up. Like those are done in the simple present tense. They often don't say the word order correctly. They don't get the curl of their tongue. They say odor. And I often make a joke like, are you smelly today? So it's odor for a strong, smelly whatever. And order is like sit up, sit down, stand up, put your pencil down, etc.
The thing is that the English you learn in Taiwan is actually influenced by British English, because they used to teach British English in Taiwan. In the 60s, they switched to American English, but actually the switchover was not complete. So for a lot of R's that come after vowels, most Taiwanese don't pronounce them. For example, it's very dark in the pak on the farm, the farmer. You're leaving out the R's, which is okay in British English, but don't mix it with American English, because words can take on a different meaning if you're missing the R. I also use that sort of problem in the section head of an article I wrote. I said, just follow the odor. Just follow the odor. They mean to say just follow the order that you've been given, but if you say odor, it means a bad smell.
Follow the odor.
Yeah, follow the odor and you will find the bathroom. That's how I found the bathroom in a building once, is I just followed the odor. But normally you mean order, so that R cannot be left out. Please watch out for that. That's what Chris was saying. Okay, the next sentence. However, skunks may be misunderstood because in reality, they only use their unpleasant smelling spray as a last resort.
So I want to ask you, growing up, did you know of any methods for taking care of the odor or scent or smell of a skunk?
I just know that people would say you have to wash it over and over and over again, and it still may not be gone.
Growing up, I heard that like tomato paste, tomato sauce.
Really?
Yeah.
Does that work? Because it's got acid in it?
Right. This was the thought that it broke it down. But in reality, there's a much better method, and it's really simple. If you've ever made a homemade volcano, you have baking soda and hydrogen peroxide. That is a great cleaning combo. It's a fantastic cleaning combo. It actually breaks down the chemical that the skunks spray at you. So that is actually the most reliable way. But be careful if it sprays any of your shirts that are darkly colored.
It
will miscolor. That's right. So you do have to watch out. But at least you're not dealing with a horrible smell on yourself.
And don't get it in your eyes.
Yeah. And your dog might be very irritated at you with this, which is the reason why I said if your dog got sprayed by a skunk, depending how big your dog is and how well-behaved your dog is, this might work. But you might just have to live with a really smelly dog for a couple weeks.
Oh, that doesn't sound fun. But actually, I may have thought of something similar because I often use baking soda and vinegar for cleaning.
Yeah, I reckon that would help, right?
Would help. Probably not as good as peroxide. Okay, next paragraph.
When skunks release their liquid, the substance not only harms the animal considered a threat, but also leaves the skunks themselves feeling exhausted.
And honestly, I didn't know that. I really learned that from this article.
I did too. I didn't know it would leave them exhausted.
Because we just think of ourselves, We're just concerned. We're so self-centered.
Yeah,
but the poor skunk, yeah.
Spraying that liquid, I wonder what it is. Is it the fact that it's because they're so scared and it's used as a last resort, serious danger that they're putting in a position that kind of just mentally leaves them exhausted? Or is it the fact that they spray it requires so much energy? Because there has to be a lot of muscular tension needed to shoot the spray out of your anal glands 3 meters.
Exactly. Because you said it can spray over a distance of about 3 meters.
That's far.
That's far. So I'm sure it's all of those things together. Okay. It reminds me sort of bees. They will not sting you unless they really have to. They're going to lose their life in that case.
If you have somehow studied English to this point and not learned the not only but also construction, please just run home and learn this right now.
But don't use it too much.
It's very common, though. You should know exactly what this is.
That's
when
right.
you see it, it should just click off in your mind that, okay, we have an A and a B.
Roll off your tongue.
Next sentence says, consequently, skunks need a period of recovery to regain their strength.
And it's just these two sentences that suddenly switched my point of view from being afraid of skunks and not really liking them all that much because of the damage that they can create or cause, to feeling kind of sorry for them.
It's sympathetic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's continue to our next sentence. During this period, skunks are more defenseless.
And I hadn't thought of that either because they're really tired. That means if there is another big threat, again, there's nothing big that they can do to ward off the threat.
Now, the article doesn't really make it clear how long this recovery period is, but it's actually like 10 days. That's a really significant amount of time. And skunks are not fast. They have claws, but they're used for digging. They can't really fight with them. They're not big animals, so they can't really bite you. It's either spray or that's it. So a skunk is really in a dangerous spot.
But I would think that they probably have a sharp bite.
You wouldn't want to get bitten by them, but it's not like being bitten by a bear or a lion.
Okay.
Let's continue to our next sentence. For this reason, skunks have 2 other means to ward off predators before their liquid is sprayed.
A predator is an animal that goes after another animal for food. So if you see a predator around, you must escape or get rid of it somehow. So in addition to this smelly, toxic liquid, they have 2 other methods to warn these predators who are threatening them.
When we ward off something, we want to tell someone of the danger that is ahead, and a skunk is using its stripes to say, hey, don't eat me, you'll get in trouble.
Keep away.
Our next sentence, first, the white stripes on their back actually point to the area from which the liquid is released.
Which made me smile because I had in my mind the picture of a cartoon skunk with an arrow pointing at his butt saying, here, this is where it will come out of. Watch out. You know what this can do?
Are you thinking of Pepe Le Pew?
Of course, I couldn't help but think of Pepe Le Pew.
What a funny character.
Even though he was not threatening.
He was not threatening, but man, he was like such a weird character.
And he was smelly. With a French accent. So if you want to hear how Americans think a French accent sounds, look for Pepe Le Pew in the cartoons.
Okay, our next sentence begins. These stripes offer a warning of, don't come too close, or you know what will happen.
That's pretty clear, but learn that intonation just the way Chris said it. Can you say it again?
Don't come too close, or you know what will happen.
Mm-hmm. That's very threatening.
Our next sentence begins, however, even if predators ignore the stripes, a skunk performs a dance before spraying, which serves as its second and final warning sign.
I hadn't known about that either, and I love the description of the dance in the next sentence. Let's hear it.
This dance involves stamping, tail slapping, and sometimes even a handstand, which sounds a lot like me in my 20s.
That is so funny, that handstand, a skunk doing a handstand. It's just hilarious to think about.
I've heard of the tail slapping, but I didn't know there was a warning sign. I thought it was like just a communication method.
Yeah, like squirrels do it.
Right. I wonder if I had ever been close to an irritated skunk because I knew of this tail slapping. I did not know of the rest of this, and I really didn't know it was warning me. I'm like, oh, look at it go. Go, buddy, go.
Isn't he cute? Our last paragraph. The smelly, toxic liquid is a kind of defense mechanism for skunks to keep threats away and stay safe. So that's pretty obvious. So this is the purpose of that smelly liquid that's also poisonous that they have. It's to keep themselves safe.
A defense mechanism is something that an animal or even a person has to keep other dangers away. Sometimes even your personality can be a defense mechanism.
That's true. If you're obnoxious, nobody gets close.
Yeah.
However, these furry little creatures don't necessarily enjoy spraying others. And knowing that also changes my attitude. They don't want to do this. I mean, you're pushing me to the point where I have no other choice, is what they're saying. A last resort. Learn that idiom. This is our last resort. That means you have no other choice. It better work this time. Like humans, all they want is a little peace and a life free from danger. And when you read that, it just sounds so reasonable.
I really like that ending, too. It's so warm and fuzzy.
Yeah, I agree. We have a couple questions for you. Number one. From where does a skunk release its liquid when it is threatened? And we've got a little picture here, and we've got the letters A through D, and then lines pointing to different parts of the skunk, and the one pointing at the bottom of the tail is D, so D is the correct answer.
Let's go to number 2. When is a skunk most easily attacked?
And when is it?
Well, it's after a skunk releases its liquid.
So if it has sprayed that liquid once already, it's going to take quite a while before it will be able to spray again. And in the meantime, he could easily be attacked and not defend himself very easily. Number 3, what is the correct order of a skunk's reaction when it is threatened? A,
it shows its stripes.
B, it sprays its liquid. Or
C, stamp its feet.
And the correct sequence is A, shows its stripes, C, stamps its feet, and B, sprays its liquid. That is the last part of the process.
Number 4, which phrase in the passage means a system or a way that helps a living thing to protect against danger?
And this is a short answer question. You're going to have to go back to the article if you don't remember, but Chris actually just went over this expression just now.
And the answer is defense mechanism.
That's right. It's a defense mechanism. It's something built in, and its purpose is to protect you from danger.
There are 2 phrases I want to quickly review before we leave, and people often think of them as pairs, but in fact, it's not the case. And the first one is sober as a judge. Now, sober actually means serious here, but people often thought of it meaning a person that does not drink alcohol.
Not drunk.
Yeah, that's right. And in the past, alcohol was illegal in the United States, so a judge, of course, being this police leader or this leader of the law, wouldn't drink alcohol or break the law. But this phrase is actually from 1694. It's a really old phrase in English. There's the sister phrase that people mistakenly tie to it, and that's drunk as a skunk.
That's right, and it's because it rhymes.
That's right. And people thought, well, you would have drunk as a skunk, one person that loves to drink and cause trouble. And then you have sober as a judge, this person that doesn't drink alcohol or cause trouble. But remember what I said, that sober as a judge is from 1694. Drunk as a skunk is from 1920s, which makes sense because the skunks are from North America. How could you have a phrase of English origin if you had never seen a skunk before in your life?
And the answer is?
Well, it's just not possible. It was a modern phrase that they just seem to very neatly tie together. He's drunk as a skunk, and that brother over there, he's sober as a judge.
In German, you say, he drinks like a hole. That makes more sense. That's it for today. Tune in next time. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.